Captain Corky. I'm getting ready to start CDL school in April, and I'm completely new to trucking. Any advice for someone new? If I had to tell a person one piece of advice, if they said, what's the one thing? There's a lot of things you could help me out with, a lot of things you might could give me advice on. But what's the one piece of advice you would give me? I'm just getting started in trucking, and I only got 2 minutes for you to tell me what's the one piece of advice. That one piece of advice that I would tell an individual that's getting into trucking, that's new to trucking. You ready for this one, Corky? If you watch any of my videos, you probably heard me say this one before. Matter of fact, before I say it, I want y'all here that's watching to tell me what you think. What you think I'm gonna say, or I want you to put that in the comments. What you think I'm gonna say, or what you would say. Got a new guy that's getting into trucking. He's only got 2 minutes for you to talk to him. He's only got 1 minute for you to talk to him. He's only got enough, time for you to get in 1 or 2 sentences. Y'all let me know in the comments what you would say to that individual. One piece of advice. There's a bunch of stuff you could tell them, but if you had to nail it down to one thing, what would you share with a new driver? I want you guys to let me know that down in the comments before I address Corky's question. I'm gonna give him my answer, but I want to see what some of you guys would say before I get into that. Appreciate the question, Corky. Make sure your school trains you on manual transmission trucks. I'm thinking that's 6 Lehman's one piece of advice. Make sure your school trains you on manual transmission trucks. That's important. That's important. I hear some people say it's not important. Because most companies nowadays, have automatic trucks available. But I've often said before, man, you wanna isolate, you wanna put yourself in the best position when you're in trucking. And in my opinion, you're more valuable to a trucking company if you're able to drive anything that's on the lot. Right? If I'm the owner of a trucking company and things get tight and I have to lay off people, right? I got to furlough people, just like the other person was saying a few minutes ago. And, I got a driver here that can only drive automatics, and I got a driver here that can drive anything on the lot. He can drive my automatics or he can drive my my manuals. I'm probably liable to keep the guy that can drive, that's the most versatile, and being able to drive a manual, it opens up your options. I've heard people say before they learned and they never needed to use it before, but, better to have that skill and not need it than to need that skill and not have it. That's just my personal perspective on that. Get in there and run like hell. That's Chance's comment. Get in there and run like hell. That's his advice to Corky or to a new driver. Shifting is a must. Chance says a lot of things you're gonna learn as you go. Kenneth Brown said that.
Real quick, family, for the last few weeks, I've been going live with my audience here on the channel every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I really enjoy it. I plan to stay as consistent as I can with that in the future going forward. Now, obviously, the edited videos, like the one you're watching right now, I'm going to continue with those, but in my opinion, there's really nothing like the interaction and engagement that is available only in a live stream. If you're not a subscriber of the channel, though, then you're not being notified when we're live here. And I don't leave my live streams public. I rip out the valuable parts, edit it, and re-upload those videos. So if you miss these live streams, then you're missing out on the opportunity to be able to really engage and interact with me and with the audience here on the channel. So before you click off of this video, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel so you'll be reminded whenever we're live. And it doesn't matter whether you're new in trucking or if you're a veteran, you've been around for a while, or if you're just thinking about getting in trucking. I normally come up with some pretty valuable topics to discuss in the lives. Consider subscribing to the channel, family, and I look forward to seeing you on the next live stream this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Now let's get back to the video.
Make sure that's really what you want to do, Johnny Adams. Ryan Reed, multiple income. Ryan Reed is saying, man, look, my one piece of advice would be, and I'm assuming you're talking about that, you're addressing that, Ryan, would be get multiple streams of income. Beminda Boy says, listen to your trainer. Eric Tyler says, don't expect to make lots of money in the first few years. These are all good pieces of advice for the new person getting into the industry. Kenneth Brown says, crawl before you walk. Bushcraft Quebec says, take your time. Dre in real life says, you're not going to make as much money as you think starting off. I can't pronounce the name. I know a guy. I hope I'm saying that right. Always pre-trip. Great piece of advice for a new driver. Ryan Reed, have a backup plan. Great piece. This is good. I didn't think y'all was going to come up with stuff this good. This good stuff might be better than the thing that I'm going to say. I ain't seen none of y'all say the thing that I'm going to say yet, though. Bushcraft Quebec, downshifting and check your trailer as a new idiot in this. Chance, what's going on, boss? I figured that was you. I saw your name a second ago. That's what's up, man. Glad to have you here, boss. I'm going through Mentor with Swift right now. Is Florida really? You can use a mouse on Android phone. All right, boom. So here is the low board is trash right now. Charles said, yo, what's up, man? I'm an owner op for USA Truck, and the low board is trash right now. I got you, man. I got you. Company drivers, we don't make nothing. SBO Kennels. So here is my one piece of advice that I would tell a new driver. And I think my piece of advice is better than all of y'all's. Actually, I'm being honest about that. All of y'all that was good points. But what I would tell a new driver is work on building your network from day one when you're first getting in trucking. Work on establishing the relationships that are probably going to prove to be valuable to you along the way in your trucking career. That would be my one piece of advice for a brand new driver. I think that's one of the most important things for a truck driver, whether he's going to be a company driver, whether he's going to be an owner operator. Especially if he's going to be an owner operator. There's so many things that as a new driver, just driving someone else's truck, that you are going to need to know. You're going to need to be around. You're going to need to have access to. There's so many things that, it's going to help you if you have a network of people around you that can help you, that can expose you to certain things, that can share certain things with you, that can help you navigate whatever environment you're in. That is so valuable. As a company driver. Here's one of the reasons why it's valuable as a company driver, and I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why it's so important as a business owner, as an owner operator. As a truck driver in general, but as a company driver, the learning curve in trucking, especially for new people, is steep in trucking. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to learn in order, in my opinion, there's a lot of things you're going to have to learn, from everything from driving the truck to the best way to run your route to, figuring out trip planning, getting that nailed down, figuring out your sleep patterns. There's so many things, how to actually run profitably, how to make money. At every company in America, there's people there that make money and there's people there that don't make money. And the people that don't make money swear up and down you can't make any money. But at every company in America, there's people there that's making money as well, at every single company. So, the company wouldn't be in business if somebody wasn't making money. So it's a learning curve figuring out how to make the money. I don't care where you are, what company you're at, right? So, you got all of that stuff, going on. You're figuring out how to navigate a new career. You're figuring out how to manage relationships at home if you got that going on. It's a very steep learning curve when you come in trucking to get to the point that you're that you're gonna feel like things are manageable, things are going smoothly, you're running like you want to, you're making the money that you want to, you're doing the runs that you want to, you're used to what's happening, right? It's gonna take a minute to get there. And being able to access a network of people that have been in those situations before and can offer you advice on how to navigate them and how to take best advantage, and let you know what's available to you. It makes a huge difference when you are able to talk to people that have been where you are, because they can give you perspective on what you're trying to do. Being exposed to something, like, I didn't know that there was a way to do this. You'll swear up and down that a thing is not possible until you get around someone that is exposed you to a way to do it. So it's really just a lack of knowledge in a lot of cases. Having access to a network of people that's willing to help you can help you bridge that knowledge gap, right? Like, you can cut down on years of whatever has to be done to gain the knowledge by getting around the right people that's willing to share the knowledge with you. That's a general principle of networking with others. If you're an owner operator, like, it's crazy the amount of, and if my phone cuts out, family, I apologize. I'm not able to look at the power button and see how much power I got left, and I'm not able to hook up my charger right now as well. But if you're an owner operator or a business owner, a self-employed entrepreneur, the amount of resources that you're going to need to be able to access to go from where you are to where you want to be, it's a crazy amount. Like, you're going to need all that stuff that the company driver is going to need, as far as being able to navigate the learning curve of the industry successfully. But then obviously you got to know how to run a business as well. You got to know how to handle a dollar as well. You got to know how to present yourself to people, and you got to know how to negotiate and how to find customers. There's a lot of things that you're gonna need to have access to. And again, having access to a network, when you have people that you can go to, you have your resources, but you got access to their resources as well. You have your ideas, but you have access to their ideas as well. If you nurture the relationships in the right way, you got your money, but you got access to their money and their guidance as well. It gives you more perspective over what you're dealing with. So, having for those reasons, I would say that working on building a network of individuals around you that can help you from day one in your trucking career to me, that's one of the most valuable things that you can do. There's no way to measure how many dividends that could come back with. There's no way to measure how many ideas that having access to that network to give you, and there's no way to measure how much money you can make off of those ideas by having access to the right kind of network. So that's what I would say to a new driver, man. Work on doing that from day one. Actively getting around, engaging with the right people that can help you, specifically financially. Right? Specifically financially. In other ways as well, but specifically financially. You need to be around people that are doing better than you. And once you figure out a way to engage with those people, because we all engage with those people at different points in our life, you got to figure out a way to stay in touch with those people, to nurture those relationships. You got to find creative ways to stay in touch with these individuals. I suck at this in my own personal life. I engage with high quality individuals all the time, but then I don't nurture the relationships. And I think that you got to find a way to creative ways to stay in touch with these people that you meet that could potentially help you down the road. You got to find a way to stay in the room and stay around these people. Energy is contagious, right? That's one of the easiest ways, in my opinion, to change your situation in life is change the environment that you're around, change the people that you're around, because the energy that you're around is contagious. We are the average of our closest friends. I mean, there's no mystery to that. Most of us, our closest associates, make around the same amount that we make, right? How many people do we really have around us that we're close to that, are living totally differently than we are. I know most of the people that I associate with closely most of them live very similar lives to how I live. So, like, put yourself around the right people, and that energy will pull you forward, right? So it'll pay dividends in so many different ways, right? Hope you got some value from that answer, from my response there, Corky. Behind the bar says, "Do not work for Swift." That's his one piece of advice for a new driver. Yvette H says, "Don't get in it for the money." Kenneth Brown, "Don't go with large companies. Find small companies. Better pay." These are all good points. Watch out for the lot lizard behind the bar. Lil Norm and post trip, or you'll be crying about the pre-trip flat tire. Absolutely. There's a lot of people out here that don't post trip, right? It's super important. You can find problems out when you get done at night instead of waiting till you get ready to go out the next time, right? Huge time saver.